Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We should be live. I did have to make one change. We're going to be on YouTube, not Facebook,
Oh, okay.
because I got thrown in Facebook jail, which is
Really?
actually, yeah, I got
How so?
I got a little share happy with one of our posts, and they said they pretty much blocked me, or not blocked me, but they said, "Hey, you can't. You're spamming." So
Oh my God. The
yeah,
Facebook, Instagram, and like these days are, I don't know, a little ridiculous, but I'm
yeah,
glad are we live right now on YouTube?
yep. We're live on YouTube right now.
Okay. Well, I told my followers on Instagram to go on Facebook, but
I will. I'm gonna post it
they,
on my Facebook page, and I'll
okay.
tag your Facebook page, so they'll still know
Okay,
where to.
cool. Cool.
So, just give me 1 second here.
Sure.
So, how are things in LA?
Things are good. It's good. It's kind of slower, everything, you know, 2020.
Yeah,
But it's, I mean, I'm not complaining much, to be honest. I mean, I'm kind of enjoying myself in my own bubble. But, you know, and where are you based in? Your,
I'm in Waco, Texas.
oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. I never been there. I would love to. So, how is it there?
Um, it's good. We're starting to get a lot of shows coming back, which is interesting. They're playing at half capacity.
Nice.
So, you know,
That's
you go to a lot of these smaller venues and they're claiming, or they'll say it's a full house, but there's only like 30 people in there just because that's all they can put in there, as far as
right.
like the 50% capacity goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Well,
always
better
interesting.
than nothing. I know. I have a show too, but but it's gonna be like outside here.
Hmm.
They usually like to like have shows inside, but it's gonna be outside in front of that venue. So I don't know how is that gonna go, but at least something to keep me
Yeah,
performing. It's been so long. I really miss it.
yeah, I got you. I got you. But so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do an intro. I'll introduce you, and then we'll just kind of talk about what you got or what got you into music. We'll talk about what you got going on, how pandemic's been treating you. Like pandemic's
Mhm.
been treating them everybody differently. So that's
Right.
always a. And then we'll probably talk a little bit about new me, and then well, like where you're going after that, and where you're at creatively, stuff like that.
Sounds great.
So, all right, let me make sure we're recording, and we'll be good to go.
I apologize for my water bottle in advance.
Oh no, you're good.
Quite a smaller one, and
You
I
are
just got back home.
good.
So
Okay,
mm.
sure. All right, cool. Perfect. Recording. All right. And if you're ready, we'll go ahead and get it going.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm ready.
Welcome, everybody, to another live and amplified livecast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we're back at it again with another amazing podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. Today, we have Chianne. How's it going today, Chianne?
Hi, hi. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. It's Monday, so I'm trying to get back into the weekday flow of life. Just trying to get back into the flow of going to work,
I
and
know. I
you know,
hear you. The same struggle here.
yeah. It 2 days off, and then it's like, oh, Monday, I have to like get myself back into that groove again. But yeah, so it was like it's just 2 days off, but
I know. I know. For me, like honestly, it's been. I mean, because of COVID and stuff. Actually, I was like, was laid off, like from my job, and like I'm currently unemployed in that sense, but I'm like working on my own stuff. So like,
Mm-hmm.
So it's already like, it's a struggle trying to keep myself in that like work schedule, like wake
Yeah.
up early and like keep that structure. It's like a little challenging at times. It's kind of making me more like weekend vibes, but it's like it's a weekday and I have to get a lot of work done. So like pushing myself a little
Yeah.
bit, but it's good.
Well, and that's the thing. Kind of the thing I'm struggling with is, when the lockdown happened, they moved us all to remote. So my entire department, we work remotely from our various homes and whatnot, and it's cool for everyone else in my department because they either live with someone, they have a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend,
Yeah.
whatever, and here I am just kind of by myself, and it's
By
just like,
yourself.
it's
Oh,
like it's
I
it,
know.
and
Yeah.
there's like no real hard start or end date or end time as far as like when we're on and off the clock. It's like as long as you answer your emails by about 10 a.m. Good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And so it's like,
I
so
had
I
those
can,
jobs too. It's like, yeah, it's
and
nice too, but because like you can work from anywhere,
yeah,
so it's cool.
it's
But at the
always
same
interesting.
time, it can get a little bit like lonely out there. I hear you.
Yeah, yep, it really is.
But
But
for the, for in my case, I mean, you know, it's strange because I mean, as an artist, like we kind of, yes, I do collabs and like a lot of stuff like that, but at the same time, my creativity requires me to be spend a lot of time alone,
mhm,
so like I'm kind of in between. I can be very extrovert, like I love being with friends and being around people, but at the same time I also love being by myself. Like I
yeah,
love being alone. Like I'm so always like cool, I find stuff to do. So like for me it hasn't been like a huge shift. The COVID like how's me, I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm used to being independent. So it
yep,
wasn't like a huge shock for me, like,
yep,
oh my god, I'm alone now.
yep,
But
I completely get that. So you're currently based in LA.
yeah,
Where are you from originally?
I am from Turkey. I was
Okay.
born in Turkey, yeah. and and I am Italian citizen too, not by blood, but yeah. But I've been living here in LA for the last like 7 years, I guess, something like that.
Okay. Cool. And what was it about LA that just kind of drew your attention?
Uh, well, um, I mean, I spent a lot of like earlier time, like before I moved here. I lived in a bunch of different countries,
Hmm.
and for work, and it's I lived in Amsterdam, in Australia, in Italy for like long time, and in New York, like in different in Turkey, obviously, and so um, back then we were like I was with my ex partner and we were like looking for a place to really like settle down.
Hmm.
It's been like we've been moving around for a while, and I we thought the weather is great here, like and I mean, my parents wanted to be here too, so it's like we all like kind of came here, and obviously I couldn't have think about a better place for me to really like go after my passion in terms of music and other passions too. Actually, like the city offers everything. I love
Hmm.
that. So,
Yeah.
um, so yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. And then, so before we jump into kind of everything you got going on, what originally got you into music? Like, what's your origin story into music?
Um. Well, my story, it's interesting because it really came to me later in life. Like I am following this more like not just like hobby, let's say, more like like making it like a profession kind of thing in the past few years, but it has always been my dream. Like it has always been within me, like even since I was a child. I wished I could pursue that, but because of my circumstances didn't really allow me to, like, to be honest. Like the culture, the circumstances, like everything was not, it wasn't very supportive environment for me to bring that gift out. I didn't even know I could, like, even though, I'm coming from a family that a lot of musicians, like from my, especially from my mom's side, it's like so many like famous people in their field, like in Turkey. And but still, yet I couldn't verbalize it. I thought that was just like a silly dream that we were not supposed to follow, because it was very much like, in high school, everybody around me was like, working to go on a college, to get a college degree,
Mm-hmm.
and like get a proper job, 9 to 5, and like that kind of thing that we were being pushed to. And I understand, artists, being artists is not easy. It's very uncertain. Like you cannot really like have a lot of certainty.
Yep.
It's so I didn't get much support in terms of that from my parents. I mean, even me, I didn't even verbalize it, to be honest, to them.
Yeah.
I never told them that I wanted to be a singer or something.
Yeah.
But later, I just, started to sing as a hobby here and there. And I was like, wow, it's just like making me happy. So, like, I just want to keep acting on this calling, and it started to grow in me. I mean, my background is a fashion designer. I worked as a fashion designer and a stylist for many years. And, so that started to come through more and grow in me. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, like, I can do whatever I want right now. Like, I don't have to ask for permission or anything. I'm just gonna go for it. And because I'm like, I don't want to die with regrets. Like, I don't want to die with like, oh, what if, or like, oh, I wish I tried it, or like songs in my heart, like things that I wanted to create but never got a chance to. So this has been my, it's just, that's how I kind of started more to sing, and it's been a crazy journey ever since.
Yeah.
Roller coaster ride.
And a lot of the stuff that you mentioned, I 100% relate with. Even though I'm not a musician, I couldn't carry a note or play a note or play a tune if I wanted to. Like, I'm not gifted as a musician at all.
You never
But
know, though.
yeah,
Don't say that.
that is
Don't limit
true.
yourself. You never know.
That is true. I do want to try and learn some things, because being around musicians, we find ourselves in like jam circles and like just random jam sessions break out. It would be kind of nice to be able to break something out and be able to at least play along and contribute or something, So
Yeah.
that's something that I'm working towards.
I
So
know. I'm like, it's never late to learn a new skill or like try something new.
hmm
Because I could have told myself the same. I'm like, oh, like a lot of people that are professional singers, they start at the age of like what, 11 or something, like really, really young.
yeah.
And so I had that story before. I was like, no, like, who am I to go become a singer or whatever? Because like, the time has passed for me. Like, I'm not young enough to do this, and blah blah blah. Like, no, this like chatter in my mind. But I'm like, the time is gonna pass anyways. So like, it's a matter of how do I want to spend it.
hmm
Like, do something that I love to do. Yeah. hell yeah. So, that's been my like kind of driving factor.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So before the pandemic, you were able to release a new single. You
Yeah,
released it in
right
January.
before.
New Me. What's kind of the story behind that song?
Um,
I know it's been a little bit since it's been released, but
yeah, but it still rings true. I think it's really what's that about? I mean, it's about transformation. It's about really like, I believe like we're like always changing and growing constantly, and it's um for me stepping into a version of myself that really like believes in myself and believes in my dreams and honors them, because I struggle with those, like um, I never thought that dreams were meant to be followed. Like I've been taught to be very analytical. I'm very like, oh, like get a job, get married, have kids, like that kind of, which is fine. Some people's dream is that,
mm-hmm.
but um for me it's to start really like honoring who I am
Mm-hmm.
and really like stepping into that and like believing in myself, have the confidence to go after what I want to do. And yeah, it's like self transformation. Like ever since then, I feel like like I've been going through more transformations. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's never ending, right?
Yeah, I got you. So what was there like a plan of doing more single releases before the pandemic hit, or what was kind of the plan originally until, you know, life
Yeah.
changed?
Well, the plan, the plan was to. I was deciding between releasing an EP
Mm-hmm.
or releasing the songs that I have as like singles.
Mm-hmm.
But they were not fully completed. I mean, I am sitting on few songs to be honest, and there were like already like kind of um old to me, but I haven't
Yeah.
released yet. But I'm still like actually like reworking some of the things, and yeah, that happened. And it's just the studios closed, and
Mm-hmm.
people were not really like working. So I actually, that worked really well for me in terms of right after I released New Me, I went through a little bit of like a breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like so kind of like tired and frustrated, and I felt like, okay, I need to make some changes
Mm-hmm.
in terms of how I work and my mentality, or things like that, because I mean, already you would imagine like being an independent artist, it's not very easy. Like it requires a lot of work. I wish I could be just the one that do the creation and like makes the music and stuff. But I mean, it's a lot of teamwork, of course. But I'm the one supervising everything, like music wise, and then the photo shoots and the
Yeah.
video and the PR and the marketing, and like it's like so much things. Like being the label by myself
Yeah.
has been very tiring, and I came to a point like I love to do this. I want to keep going, but
Mm-hmm.
how am I gonna keep sustaining myself? Like how am I gonna keep like emotionally, energetically, financially? Like it felt like I was just like giving like constantly, but when it comes to receiving, I mean, I should say, because I mean, since I just released 3 singles, I think I really had a good start. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm grateful that I have like listeners and followers a lot, but just in terms of the finances coming back, like in terms of bringing myself to a space like oh, I can, yeah, this is actually, supporting me. Like I can, it wasn't there yet. And I
Yeah.
was like, how am I going to, where, like, I don't have the budget, I'm just like trying to create things, with magic.
Yeah.
It's like a lot. I wish I had, a lot to spend in terms of that, but it's like, but there needs to be like more balance. So I was like really in a space like discouraged a little bit. I'm
Mm.
like, uh like I don't want to do music.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I had that, I gone through that a little bit. I'm like, maybe I should do something else, maybe I should give up, maybe I, and um it's tough, like as an artist. That's I've been
Mm.
experiencing, like I always um tell people like, oh, go follow your heart, go
Mm.
follow your dreams, with no expectation though,
Yeah.
like in return, like and I say like, it doesn't matter if no one listens and loves my music, if everybody hates me on music, doesn't matter. What matters is like, I do I love my own music, or do
Mm.
I love what I put out? And so that, okay, in theory that's true, but it's like at the same time it's very tricky for an artist, it's very much like,
Mm.
oh, not care about it.
Yeah.
Like I did find myself caring about it, and I'm like, okay, I had to do more work, inner work, to bring myself to a space like, oh, I'm just doing it for, because I really love to do this, and not because I want to prove myself to my family that I'm
Mm.
not crazy for going after something that, you know, putting my career aside and
Yeah.
going after something that I, they're uncertain.
Yeah.
So there was this part of me like really needed to prove myself to,
Mm.
but then I'm like, I cannot,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to let that go too. So it's like, I needed to have that break. So I needed to have
Yeah.
that break to bring myself back into space, like, to remember why I started.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know,
And yeah.
it it's refreshing to talk about this a little bit because I don't talk to a lot of people about this stuff, about just kind of knowing when to pull back. Like you've been going so hard, and then you get that moment of, wait, is this really worth, um,
Mhm.
like when we talked about before, when we came on the stream here, uh, the reason that we're streaming on YouTube and not on Facebook is because I was thrown in Facebook jail. It's not a uncommon story for me, but it's a thing that just kind of happens every once in a while. I get a little trigger happy with the share button, you know, but
Wow.
it's a thing. And it was like I was sitting there and I saw that notice come up saying, you can't do anything for the next 30 days. It's like, you
What?
just basically told me that I can't do anything for the next 30 days. And and then there was like a couple of other things that happened in accordance to Live and Amplified. And I was just like, man, I'm busting my butt. And within the last 48 hours, I've probably done irreparable damage, just not being able to, um, well, we'll be able to recover, but just kind of, it's going to set us back a lot. Do I really want to keep doing this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and, uh, and then I just kind of took the weekend and pulled back a little bit, and somebody messaged me. It was like, hey, are you good? Like they just reached out and was like, hey, are you good? Haven't you've seemed off a little bit. And I'm like, no, I'm not good, and I kind of told them what was going on, and so we had like a legit conversation, and it was just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was somebody that I'd met through the podcast, so it was just kind of like, okay, so what I am doing is helping other people, and they are paying attention. So yeah, it's just kind of always interesting that to know, and it's refreshing to know that other people are going through the same things that you're going through.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I one of my spiritual teachers slash friend, he was saying, so once we start something new and once we decide to honor our heart and like go after our passion, universe, they he calls it like a day 2 challenge. So the day 1 is like you decide to do something new and like you're like, oh, okay, I have this calling of singing or like making this podcast or whatever, and then you start acting on it, and there comes the day 2 challenge. And the day 2 challenge is basically like, universe is like throwing you like a bunch of challenges and things, like testing you, saying like, are you sure you want this? Like, are you sure you want this?
Yeah.
Are you sure? So like if you pass through that, then you kind of have the rewards, at the end of it. But it could be a test, and maybe you will be like, actually, you know what? I don't want this, and you just drop it. That could be an option too.
Yeah.
So like, don't take it as, because some people see it as like, oh, maybe that's a sign that I should give up or something. That's a perception, I think.
Yeah.
Or I feel like to keep going.
I can I feel like I'm on what would probably be the day 3 challenge of let's see how bad he really wants this. And
I know. Oh, I am like, I don't know, day 1 million challenge or something. I am. And I'm still like find myself going. I'm like, whoa, I should be like either crazy or like I really love this,
But I will say though that the pandemic has done so much good for like Live and Amplified as a brand, because it's been one of those deals where we used to thrive on going out and doing production, going to like different cities, different states, and doing productions. Like we didn't rely on the podcast. The podcast was just kind of something we did if we had time. And now the podcast, like there's a lot of people that think that this is all we do. And it's like, it's all we do right now. But wait until you see us get into full swing. And, like when we can get out and do what we do best, So it'll be a thing once lockdown ends.
Yep, I know. By the way, I'm talking to you from my balcony. It's kind of getting dark. I'm gonna turn on the light. One second. Okay?
Not a problem. I was gonna say something and then I was just like, okay, not a problem.
Yeah, I hope this helps though.
Yep, I can already tell it did.
Let's see.
Yep.
How was that? It's good? Okay.
Yep, that's a lot better. I was like, oh, she's probably out on the deck or something. Dang it. Okay.
Yeah. It's
I'm still not used to it getting so dark so early. Like I don't know. Like
what time is it there?
It's 8:30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like even for you, so it's like 6:30 by you, and it's already starting to get dark, and it's just like,
right.
Man,
yeah.
Let's go back to the summertime when it's.
I know. Yes, totally.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was living in Amsterdam. It was getting dark at like 10:30 or something. That was crazy. Yeah.
There was a point where I was living in North Dakota. I lived in North Dakota for a short, like less than 3 weeks. And I was so I was there for 3 weeks, and it was it was in July, so it was like middle of summer, and it was like 11:30 at night, and the sun was just starting to set.
Wow.
And so I was just sitting, I was like, what is going on right now? Like it's 11:30 and the sun is just now setting. Like it was
That's really weird. It feels interesting.
Yeah. but I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, wait until like if you end up staying there long enough, wait till December. It's dark by like 3 p.m. Like middle,
Wow, yeah.
like in the winter." I'm like, "Oh
Wow.
yeah." So
You should
it's
wear like the mask to sleep.
yeah,
Probably there.
yep, absolutely. So how are things going in LA right now? Is LA are you guys still kind of dealing with the wildfires, or is that kind of calming down at this point?
It has come down,
Hmm.
as far as I know. I don't see any smoke around or like, but from the news also, I think it's calmed down.
Yeah.
And it's good. I mean, life looks like kind of back in normal in a sense.
Hmm.
Like the traffic is kind of back, which
Hmm.
is, the best thing ever happened to LA was like in terms of COVID was the traffic. There was no traffic, which was like a miracle to
Yeah.
be in LA.
Traffic went away, and it was like you
Yeah, it
get from
was
one side of town to the other in less than it wouldn't take you 3 hours or whatever. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed that, but now it's coming back. So I'm like, oh,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
we need another lockdown. No, I'm just kidding.
I got
But but yeah. But besides that, it's all good. The weather is still very nice.
you.
Like I'm outside with just like this, and I'm kind of okay now.
Yeah. I'd say right now it's probably like 40 or 50 degrees outside because it's been dark for a while already here. And it's just like,
Wow.
eh, because I'll get up in the morning and go run to the gas station down the street to go to just get out in the morning, and it'll be like 50 degrees out. And I'm like, okay, like I feel like I'm
Whoa.
back in Chicago now. But yeah,
Wow. I kind of miss that cold weather too, though. I mean,
I
not for living, but probably.
I don't mind like the cool mornings, but it's when it's snowing and it's like negative 12 degrees or so, when it's like because I grew up in Chicago, and so I'm used to negative 12 degrees, a foot and a half of snow getting dropped on you, all that craziness.
Hmm.
Oh, but like now I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm good. I don't really need that anymore in my life. So
Right. Yeah.
I,
I
I
hear you.
I've kind of become a wimp, so to speak, when it comes to cold. Like, because I spent like 2 years down in Florida, 4 years in New Mexico. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but so how are things going with you creatively? Where you kind of find yourself creatively right now with your music?
Um. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, it was like kind of. It's like a wave. Sometimes I catch the wave of creativity, and it's gone for a while.
Mm.
But it is. I mean, I've been using this time to kind of learn more skills, like such as, I mean, I finally set up my home studio. So
Mhm.
I was teaching myself a little bit, like how to record myself and do work on Logic and things like that.
Mhm.
And and I've been, just teaching myself more, like how to play guitar and piano, and how to, like, sing at the same time before, because I do play piano and I do like a little bit of guitar. I did, but most of the time I wasn't performing like by myself. Like I
Mhm.
always had people. So that's that's one thing that I kind of started to explore this year. Like to really to learn to more like play and sing together. And I also just got myself a harp last like a week ago or something,
Mhm.
and I kind of started to explore that a little bit, and that's one. And just, yeah, writing here
Yeah.
and there, working, recording some new songs and things, and just like I honestly don't know when I will be releasing new
Mm.
music. I hope soon. but still like in the works. So it's yeah, it's been slow moving in terms of working on my originals, and I kind of feel like maybe I should wait till next year. I
Okay.
don't know if next year will be a better year. It's kind of this year feels like it's um I don't know, 2020, like
It-
oh, maybe
I,
maybe I shouldn't release anything this year. Like anything can go wrong or something.
yeah,
Feels like, but I don't know. Like maybe I will. I don't know.
yeah, I
And
gotcha. But like I talked to a lot of musicians, has like other than the the greater picture of everything that's going on, like but for you personally, has
find it.
2020 really been that bad? Like for you personally?
Hmm. Oh really? That sounds like it. That's good.
Yeah, because it's because I look at it, it's like, yeah, yes, the economy shut down and everything. We were all in lockdown for a really long time. But what have you learned? Like in the last, let's call it 7 months, probably, yeah, we'll call it 7 months. What have you learned about yourself in the last 7 months?
That I have really grown deeper in my faith, or
Hmm.
like of being okay with the uncertainty,
Hmm. So
and
you,
being really like able to, yeah, be present with, be okay with whatever life kinds of brings me.
okay,
And I, and in terms of um coronavirus, because of pandemic and things like that,
yeah,
I mean, I am more on the side of, let's say, the conspiracy theorists.
yeah,
And I don't follow mainstream media,
hmm,
and I don't really, because I think that there are lots of wrong information. They're just using that as a propaganda to,
yeah,
brainwash people, like
yeah.
to make them think whatever they want
There,
to
like
think. So, and
there's a lot of fear tactics being
mhm,
used.
yeah, it's all about fear pumping. It's. So I choose not to um buy into that fear. And yeah, you can always, like, we always have two choices, like fear or love,
Mm-hmm.
or faith. So it doesn't really like it, those two doesn't exist hand in hand. So I'm like, okay, like, um it's been a good test for me, because I've been doing a lot of inner work in the
Mm-hmm.
last, like, so many years. So I feel like I have already faced so many of my fears in a way that this year hasn't been doing big impact on me in that sense. I'm like, I mean, for me, I believe that, I think we're supposed to take care. We should take care of ourselves to the best of our ability,
Mm-hmm.
like like holistically though, like, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like, um, but and then leave it up to God, or like whatever you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if I'm meant to die from COVID, I cannot escape that. I think that's my personal belief. That's gonna happen one way or another. So why worry?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've been kind of living my life as if that, honestly, that doesn't exist in my reality. But if it comes, if I'm meant to experience that, then I will. And it's like everything else, like anything, like people, like we're meant to die one day. Like, we're
Yeah.
not here mortal
Yeah.
beings, at least not for now. So I think, I've been in that vibration of faith and trust, and um and I've been connecting with so many new people
Mm-hmm.
by with that vibration who are holding the same frequency and same view. And so that's been great too. Yeah, this year like I've been connecting with new people, new friends, and it's kind of, yeah, it's slowed down everyone, so it's definitely slowed me down. And it's about like balancing the, I think we were over went over off balance, and we all have like feminine and the masculine within, so like we were like went off balance within in our masculine, like, oh, it's we're all about like doing like human doing. So
Mm-hmm.
the universe is like, no, like you are a human being, like go back to that being state. So and balance the life. It's like, don't be like just work is not everything.
Yeah.
Like take care of your health, of your family, be with your friends. And so that's been great. I think that's I really see that as a I see this year as a good year, actually, to be
Mhm.
very honest,
Yeah, and
because of
that's
that.
ultimately what I was getting at is unless you had the unless you're one of the people that lost like 5 people to the COVID pandemic, like to the COVID
Yeah.
illness, and everybody is unemployed, and like it 100% impacted you. Yes,
Oh yeah.
okay, I get
And
the
it did impact me financially and
yeah.
things, but but still.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is for a lot of people, 2020 woke them up, and it's like, hey, I gotta, I just gotta go do what I want to do. Like I can't,
Yeah.
like tomorrow's not guaranteed. So
Exactly.
if you don't
Exactly.
if you don't like crunching numbers or whatever your day job is,
Yep.
go do
Yep.
what you want to do.
Yeah. That's been
So
such a gift, I think. It's like we've been on this like hamster wheel for
hmm
so long that we don't even like stop and think and like, oh wait, I don't like this. What but okay, how do I get out of this wheel or the matrix, like, and then what do I do?
yeah.
Uh, so like this year was like, you have to stop. Like you have to get off this hamster wheel and listen, go back here and listen. What is this telling you to do? And honor
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
So you win if you do that.
Yep.
And yes, it comes with challenges. I like we were talking about.
hmm
They do, but it's at the same time. I think it's um that's the kind of life that it's worth living
hmm
when you honor our hearts and not be in that fear mentality of like, oh, but I have to survive, I have to, you know and yeah, unfortunately this is the system put us in this space,
hmm
and we have to survive, we have to make money, and it's challenging, I know, but I think if we take the leap of faith to listen to what we need to do, and then we will find our way. At least we'll be more happier, I think.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's just one of those things where it's like, at some point you got to do what's good for you,
Yeah.
and and just kind of like, yo, this job is like, if you got a job that's killing you, or you're just not
Yeah.
happy, or
Yeah.
whatever. And I think 2020 for a lot of people, like I said earlier, woke them up. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know,
Yeah. So many like spiritual awakening in the world. So beautiful, actually.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So when you're not writing or playing or doing anything surrounded by music, what do you kind of do to kind of escape, decompress? What's your escape?
Um. Well, I think that is my escape,
Oh,
maybe, or doing
music?
writing and music and
Okay.
things like that.
Yeah.
But um, I like to what I do. I mean, I like to spend time. with my friends and family,
Hmm.
and you know, we do some events like music jam sessions or some meditation sound baths or travel, a little bit here and there. And yeah, just go to the beach
Hmm. Yeah,
and go for a walk
yeah,
and listen to music, dance,
yeah.
and things like that.
California's got California's got a lot of beaches. I will say that.
I know, but I mean, I should say, I mean, I never, almost never went in the water this
Hmm.
year, and always, which is, I don't know, because I don't know, I find it a little bit too rough for me. Like, it doesn't like very inviting for me.
Hmm.
I kind of like more like clear water,
Hmm.
you know. But I mean, it's good to be on the beach in
Yeah,
anyways. Yeah.
I need to come back out to LA and that area. I haven't been. It may have been 20 years already. Holy cow! I may have not been
What?
out to LA in almost 20 years. I'm trying to
That's a long
remember. Yeah, it really is. I may have been like 13 or 14 when I was out there last.
time. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not, I just gave everybody my age, but like it is what it is. Um, but yeah,
That's fine.
like I've got a lot of friend. You were talking about never or not going into the water, and it was
Hmm.
just like, oh yeah, we went and we didn't go in the water either because, well, mainly because it was like March and it was still really cold out, so it was just kind of like, yeah, we're not going into the water, but yeah,
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit spoiled in terms of water because I grew up in Mediterranean Sea,
yeah,
so it's like it's a different. I don't know. It's different. I
yeah,
mean, I kind of prefer that to. I mean, in terms of swimming and going in the water,
oh yeah. Well,
but
there's
yeah.
a lake that we used to go to as a kid where the water was so crystal clear that you could the water would be 2 or 3 feet deep and you could see straight to the bottom, you know, and it's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
completely get it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Nice. Yeah,
yeah,
you should come back. It's been a long time.
it really has.
I'm
Like,
sure you'll be like surprised. Must be very different now.
I I was supposed to come back last year. I was supposed to go out there last year. We were I was living in Florida. I was living
Hmm.
in Tallahassee, Florida, and I was going to drive through New Mexico where the rest of my crew is, like my sound engineer and the rest of our crew. And we were going to go up to Montana, down to Las Vegas, and then swing over to LA and then back. We get up to Montana. I didn't realize how far north it was and how long it was going to take us to get from New Mexico to Montana. Like, I saw the number and how long it was going to take, but I didn't really realize how long it was going to take. Like, I didn't put
Uh-huh.
two and two together. And so we get up there and we shoot, and like we do our entire production run, like what we'd normally do when we're on a trip like that. And so it's like, all right, we've got 22 hours to get to Las Vegas, and then we've got like 24 hours to stay in Las Vegas, and then we got to get to LA and all that stuff. And yeah, we didn't even make it to Vegas because we got lost in Montana because Montana there was no cell signal for any of us, and so we were just kind of driving around aimlessly for 12 hours. And it's just like, all right,
Oh,
let's just go home. Like this trip is done. We're not going to make it to Vegas. We're not going to make it to LA. We're good. We're done.
wow.
Yeah, it
Oh,
it was bad,
adventure. Wow. That's
but
crazy.
yeah, but hopefully we'll get back out there. Everyone tells me if you're going to LA, you're better off to find one place to park and then just kind of Uber or walk anywhere you go in LA, just because it is so crowded and so expensive.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Or
um,
take the bird.
yeah, yeah.
Little thing.
So you've been in LA for about you said 7 years at this point?
I think it's been 7 years
Okay.
already. Yeah. I
Have you ever have you had a chance to travel outside of LA, like in the US, but like, have you had a chance to like tour or,
yeah. I mean, um I did. I've been, but I should say I really would have wanted to travel a lot more. It didn't happen as much as I wanted to,
Mhm,
but yet, um, yeah, I been. I mean, before I moved to LA, I was going back and forth between USA a lot of times. So I've been in US, like in different parts of the
mhm,
US before I actually like moved in here. So back then maybe I traveled more. I don't know. It's but I've been, but in terms of the most the place where I stayed the longest
mhm,
besides LA was Sedona. I kind of uh there's a time that it really became like my second home.
mhm,
I was like going back and forth. um about 3 years ago I gone through transition
mhm,
and separating from my partner, and that made me like I really wanted to go to Sedona, and I went there. I ended up staying like a couple months there,
mhm.
and it was magical. It was so beautiful, so healing. It's such a special place. I love it. And then it's just like I everyone there was like so open hearted, so nice. So I really like got connected with so many beautiful people. And then I was just like going back and forth, and and I still need to go back actually,
Yeah.
and other places too. It's I don't know. I've been to. I mean, I lived in New York for
Mhm.
a little while, and I've been to Florida. I've been to places around
Yeah.
California. Um, to Vegas, and I think kinda, I can't remember other places right now, but I think I've been to like Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Gotcha.
kinda. No, I there's just so many places I gotta go. Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
a huge
it
place.
like, especially like, I mean, right now probably not the best time to be traveling, just because like there are different areas that are, more prone to COVID than others, but
uh, yeah,
if you really like going into like small town America and just kind of seeing how smaller towns operate and what have you, it, it's really a it's really a great time to do that. Like, a few months ago, I went up and my parents rented a lake house, and we went to I went to visit them there for like 5 days, I think it was. So that was really exciting, So, but
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's such a beautiful time to be in nature, go explore nature places, and I've been wanting to go camping. It doesn't happen yet, but I really want to do that too soon.
yeah,
Um, the last trip was I think it was in Big Bear, Lake
mm,
Arrowhead,
yeah,
and with friends. But yeah, it's a great time to I think just really like being in. I love being in nature, so I really want to
yeah,
try. I should travel more. But at
gotcha,
the same time, like, oh my God, I have so much thing to do.
yeah,
So balancing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we like to do on Live and Amplified and our podcast in general is we like to pass on knowledge to the younger musicians or younger creative types out there. So from your perspective, What's one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you first got started making music?
Hmm, that's a really good question. Um, one thing that I wish I knew. um, I think it's the main. I mean, believing in yourself is the first is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will. Really, it was for me. It was I gone through this because I started in a later age.
Mm-hmm.
It was in this space like I was looking outside to validate me. Like I was looking for people to say, "Oh yeah, you're good," And if let's say if I was performing and if there's like 10 people and out of let's say even let's say 8 people say like you were great and like or like 2 people doesn't say anything or say give me a criticism or something, I would
Mm-hmm.
just focus on that and enlarge it, and I was think about, oh yeah, you see, like I'm not good enough. They didn't like it, so I was very much like trying to please everyone or like be liked by everyone
Mm-hmm.
and get be validated by people so that I can finally think that oh yes I am good enough for something. But I learned that it's actually the other way around.
Yeah.
It's like first you need to learn to believe in yourself, and then people will reflect that back to you. And not everybody gonna love your music or love you, and that's okay. So don't. I would tell them to not to focus on that and not to worry about it. Don't spend your energy on trying to please everyone or
Mm-hmm.
be liked by everyone, or just work on their craft and follow their heart and just do it for the sake of
Yeah.
the love of it, not for external things like you know validation, recognition, money, fame. Yeah, these are cool, but they're not. They can come and go. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
If you attach to that, then we will like whatever. Yeah, you can have it, but then it can go as well. Like so, I'm like we should be in a space like doesn't matter. Just what matters is like to self-expression,
Yeah.
and we should always express ourselves from a free space.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
But I don't want to keep you too much longer because it is
I'm
the
so
evening
sorry
time.
that it's really getting dark. I'm trying to find a good spot because we
No,
have people inside the house, and I'm
yeah.
like, I'm trying to find a more private space
No,
to
you're
talk
good.
to.
You are good. What's kind of your plans moving forward? Like pandemic pending, obviously. Do you have any shows that you have?
Yeah.
Shows are starting to happen again in LA, correct? Kind of,
Um,
or
I
not
think
really?
so. Slowly, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
What's
Mhm.
kind of your plan moving forward for the rest of the year? I know we've kind of talked about this, but what?
I so far I have booked a place called Mints and
Mhm.
on 11/11, so I'm gonna have a little set there. And in terms of performance, that's pretty much it for
Okay.
now. And I've been wanting to do some like live performances. I was doing at the beginning more of the COVID, and I kind of stopped it. I want to get back to doing it more, and I'm mostly yeah, it's like working more in the background
Hmm.
right now, like on my craft and you know creativity and writing things, and just can't wait to have the day to finally start sharing again.
Yeah.
like in terms of my originals. I mean, I share some covers here and there, and but yeah, I'm working.
Gotcha.
Let's see how it goes. I don't know when.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah,
Have you thought about doing more of the covers? Because I was looking through your YouTube channel and I saw you do those. Have you thought
yeah.
about doing more of those or?
I know. I haven't. I neglected my YouTube for long. To be honest, I haven't been focusing on it too much. I should. I've been most active on Instagram, I should
Mm,
say,
yeah,
and I do share some covers there, and I've been wanting to add more on YouTube too.
yeah,
But yeah, I definitely should. It's like I don't know. It feels like I cannot do all of it. I
yeah.
had such a weird mindset. It sometimes feels like a drag.
Hmm.
Like I gotta like, and it's not a good place to share from that space. I'm like, oh, I have to share on YouTube, and you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, to be honest with you, just kind of looking at everything, um, with the videos that you post on your Instagram channel and like the cover videos, there's no reason why you can't put those on your YouTube channel as well.
I
Like
agree.
yeah, just you know,
Yeah, yeah, I will take that advice and I'll put them on Instagram
yeah.
on YouTube. Yeah,
It's just so because I used to very much be in that same mindset of, oh, I put it on one channel. I can't put it on another. I put it on one platform. I can't put it on another. And it's
right,
like, it took me a really long time to kind of get off the mindset of keeping things exclusive because there are people that know us, know Live and Amplified through our Facebook page, but they don't know we have a YouTube channel. And then it's also vice versa that we have people that know us through our YouTube channel, but don't know us through Facebook. You kind of get what I'm.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
the audience is different in each platform, I
mhm,
guess.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, there's a whole science behind it and a whole theory. Like, if you're doing cover music, Instagram is the nice catch-all for everything. Like if you're posting stuff on Facebook and YouTube, you
Yeah,
post it to Instagram as well because it's like the hot popular thing right now. But what you post on YouTube may not always work on Facebook, and what you post on Facebook may not always work on YouTube. And so it basically there's a whole theory and science and analytics, and all that crazy stuff, and you just got to kind of you know
I know. Yeah, that's been driving me crazy
yeah.
too.
And then once you kind of get it all figured out, they'll come in and be like, nope, we're going to change it up on you. And what you thought worked doesn't work anymore. And it's just like, oh no, I'm good. So,
Yeah, but now it's the main thing is I think TikTok
mhm.
for artists, and I've been needing to. I mean, I have a profile there, but I haven't been very active. I should be.
Yeah. I totally get
Hard
you
to keep
there.
up with all these things. I mean, I don't know.
It, it was just one of those things where it really wouldn't be hard for me to consistently post on TikTok because like everything that I put on Facebook, Twitter, or not Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube could easily go on TikTok just as far as putting content out there.
Right.
But like when everything was going down with the current administration threatening to ban TikTok, I was really starting to get into it and I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to start pushing. And then the notification came down that they were going to ban TikTok and it was going to be gone in 45 days. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to continue building a platform that's not going to be here in 45 days. And then they extended it to 90. And I was like,
Okay. Oh.
okay. And then now it's not going anywhere. And it's like,
Oh.
yeah,
Okay. I didn't know the update.
yeah. And so it's just kind of like, all right, well, I guess I worried about nothing.
Right.
But
Yeah. And it grows so fast there in
yeah,
TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are 100% correct. Like, just like TikTok makes no sense to me. Like, just like what would normally what gets a lot of views on TikTok, if you put it anywhere else, it's like,
Yeah.
so it's just really weird, and I probably need to start putting on posting on TikTok again and start getting back into that groove.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you can show more your like silly side there, and like the things that you wouldn't be able to like post on
Yeah.
maybe Instagram and things. But I mean, in my case, I don't care much about it. But it's like, yeah, it's um, yeah, more like playful and silly side.
Mhm. Yeah.
This is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But
Yeah.
um,
For sure.
so where can everybody find you online? Where can they find you on Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff, and listen to your music?
Sure. They can find me on Cheyenne Music on Instagram, and do you spell it like Chianne
Hmm.
music on Instagram and also on Facebook, the same. And on Spotify, on all these platforms, just as like Cheyenne.
Hmm.
If they search Cheyenne or one of my songs like Cheyenne Knew Me, Flames, or Return to Love, it will be easy to find.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah, and yeah, have hope to bring more soon to
awesome.
that.
I definitely can't wait to hear new music coming from you. Like, I feel like I've said it a lot. I feel like a lot of musicians have been doing a lot of writing during this time, and hopefully we don't hear a whole lot of COVID albums, but hopefully,
Yeah, I
because
know.
it'll be interesting. But I'm really excited to see the boom of independent music we're about to have, because everybody's just kind of been like, if they've been able to record, they've been recording, or if all they've been able to do is write, they've been writing, and then they're going to hit the studio. So, like,
Yeah,
the 6 to 12 months after lockdown is lifted,
yeah,
look out, it's going to be crazy.
I know. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
So,
exciting.
yeah, it really, no, it really is, because it's like, you just don't know what's going to come out of it. Like, you may hear the next iconic song that defines a generation. You just don't know what's going to come.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
somebody
I
somebody
know.
could
There
somebody
must be.
yeah.
Because like such a time that you're like, yeah, it's, artists thrive on this, should thrive on this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody could be working on this generation's Beat It right now,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
I
So,
know. It's so exciting. Whoa. Can't
yeah.
wait to hear people start. I mean, they're already kind of, some people started releasing music now.
Hmm.
I see in some, but yeah, I guess maybe people, many are waiting for next year. I don't know.
Hmm.
Let's.
Let's I'm really excited, can't wait to see what's happening.
Me
um
too. Yes.
but once again, I want to thank you so much for giving us the time to sit down and chat a little bit. I
It's
really
really my
appreciate it.
pleasure.
It's been fun to get to know you and sit down and chat. And you know it's it it's such weird times that we're in, but it's been great. Like, the last 7 months have been really great, so I'm really excited to see where things
I
go.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really, thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here and talk to you.
Mhm.
So it was fun. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for